Good morning, everyone. My name is Laura Stranks and I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in Brisbane, Queensland, Australia. Thanks for joining me today, and thanks if you've already subscribed to my channel, which is called Creative Gems. I hope you enjoy what I do. Just a couple of things before I start. I've got a Facebook page called Cards by Laura. In there I post all my cards that I make at my workshops and classes, and any that I do on my channel or on my lives on a Saturday morning. I have a large group called Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials, and in there I do a live video every Saturday morning at 9 AM. That's Australian time. So if you wish to join that group, you're welcome to join. There are two questions that you need to answer if you do join. One is why you wish to join the group, and the other that you agree to the rules. And if you don't see those questions on your device that you're on when you go to join, try joining from some other device. If you're on your phone, try your iPad or your laptop, something different to what you're on. Sometimes you don't always see the questions there to answer, but you must answer them for me to accept you in the group. I will send back a notification if you haven't answered the questions. And also today, as I mentioned, you're watching Creative Gems. If you haven't already subscribed, I'd love you to do so. If you just hit the little subscribe button, and in there will come up a little bell. If you hit on the little bell, each time I upload my video, it will notify you that I'm up there for watching. I do record my videos each week, just for convenience for myself. One day, maybe, I will do a live on my YouTube, but at this stage, I love to record each week. So we shall get started. I'll put all that away. If you have any questions on any of that, just pop it in the comments column. The measurements for this card will be in the description box of the video today, and also the full PDF of instructions and scoring and everything will be in the files tab in that Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials group, so you can go and get the full PDF out of there. I only put the measurements in my description box in the video. So this card is called a bookbinding gatefold card, but I've done a little bit different because it sometimes went, it wouldn't sit so flat on the gatefold because there's so many layers on it. I decided to do a slide and lock attachment on the front. Actually, it doesn't slide as well as I wanted, but you can just pop it in. It's got a little mechanism at the back there that slides in like so, and you can pop it in this side as well. Just loosen that a little bit and it slides like that, but it does slide if you want to slide it up and down that way. Mine's a little bit tight, but you can loosen that, but I find it's easier just to pop it open like so. So I'll leave it open for now. After a while it does sit flat anyway, so if you didn't want to put this on, that's fine. You could always put some ribbon underneath your two mats here and tie it with a little bow at the centre. That's another option if you want to do it that way. Quite a few options. Or you could just leave it plain to sit flat. Some people put their greeting on one side only, and that will hold that down on that side, and then you can still open it that way with the greeting still attached to one side. So try a few different ways of doing it if you like. It does fit in a standard C6 envelope. That's Australian measurements. I think it fits also, I've got a ruler here, I think it will fit in the American. Yes, it's 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. So it does do with the US measurements as well. It will fit for that. So that's my card. Now all the pieces, there's not a lot of pieces that you'll need. This is my base, which I've done in Blackberry Bliss. The base measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I'll give you the scoring on that in a minute. And then I have some mats. I'll put this, may as well put this what I typed up this is what you'll get in the description box. So you can take a screenshot of that if you wish, or it'll be in the PDF as well in my Laura's Craft Room Tips and Tutorials group. My mats I've done in Fresh Freesia. This one's totally different. That one's got a scene on it, like a wintry looking lake scene or mountain scene. This one is just in flowery paper. My mats, there's 4 inches by 1 7. Oh, not that one. This one is 4 by 4. That goes on the inside with the white mat, which is 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. That's my inside pieces. I've got some decorations to put on that. And then I've got these mats, 4 by 1 7/8. There's 2 of those, and a 4 by 1, which is one of that one. They go, the two of go on here and the one of over there. And now the DSP, when you cut it, it depends. This one I made sure I cut in a scene, and these I've got in order of the way that I've cut them too. So you get a flow of the pattern across the front of the card. So I've got 3 3/4 by 3/4. If you do them in this order, your pattern will flow through. That's one of, that goes at the side there. I'll put that down there. That goes at the side. Then this one, I think I've got it this way. Yes, this way, that way, and that way. So my patterns are still matching up. Where's the second one? There's a second one here, there and there. So you've got 3 3/4 by 3/4, one of, 3 3/4 by 1 5/8. There's 2 of those, and then the 3 3/4 by 1, that piece will be going on the inside. I did follow it on through with the flow of the pattern, but it doesn't really necessarily need to have it on the inside, but I did. So that one will go there. So they're in order of how they are going on the front. I'll leave those in order. I'll put the clip on so they don't get out of order again. So that's all of those. We've done the white piece. I've got some embellishments there to put on, and I've also got the little locking system at the front. The locking system that I did on the previous one and this one is these 2 stylish shaped circles. I find circles are a little bit easier to work with. You could use a square or even a rectangle if you wish, but I've used circles on these. So, and then I've got some decorations as well. And you'll need 2 extra circles or squares to put at the back. So I'll just show you what I've done. I've got my little greeting here, which I've popped up on dimensionals. That'll go on the front. Then you need 2 more, which I've folded one, and I'll fold this second one. They will go on the back, and I'll show you how to do the locking system with that. So if you need to take a screenshot, that's fine. You can do that, but save you writing it all down, or it'll be in the description box of the video. I'll put that aside, and we shall get started. Just a little bit of scoring to do. This is quite a quick project today. So we have on the long side at the top, you're going to score at 2 1/8. I'll flip that over because I have already scored it, and I'll just show you where it goes. 2 1/8, which is there. Make sure you score, don't cut. 3 3/8, which I've gone this way. 2 1/8. I'm only going by the measurements I've got there. 2 1/8, 3 3/8, which is there, and 8 7/8. 8 7/8, which is way over there, which is that one there. You could do, because this one is 2 1/8 from this end. So if you wanted to do the first 2 1/8 and 3 3/8, and then flip it around and do 2 1/8 from that end as well, because the 2 end pieces are the same size, and this here is your bookbind in the centre. So if you don't want to go all the way across, that's another option. So we shall fold these, making sure that the edges here are nice and even down the sides, and you just fold them all the same direction for now. It doesn't really matter because we can fold them back the other way. This one here, that first one will then go backwards. So this one here comes straight across to the center. This one here will come backwards because we're going to put some glue in under there to make the book fold, and then this will come in here and that folds back like so. So you can start off by just gluing that down. Make sure I've got some glue. I think I've got plenty in this pot. So just in here between those two smaller score lines, I'm just going to put a little bit of liquid glue in there. I think this bookbinding card has been around forever, but this is just a little bit different with the gatefold on the top. Normally you would just do a standard book fold where this top layer is all one piece. It hasn't got the gatefold in the center. Just a little bit different, but nice and easy for someone that's maybe beginning and not sure how to do things. So that one goes like so, and then we can put our mats on, but I prefer to just leave my base, and then we'll put these in order, and this one will go with the other mat. So the DSP is, we're going this way, those three, that one will go on there, and then making sure my pattern's still lined up. So you can do this if you've got a scene pattern, just double check and make sure when you cut it, have a big long piece and cut in order all the way across, and then this one will go in here, and they're all the same height. So I shall get my silicone mat so we don't get glue all over our workspace, and I'm just going to glue all of these down, and then you can see where they belong. I might get my tweezers for a change when I find them. Get all out of order in here. So all of these will just go onto my mats. Make sure I've got, well, it doesn't really matter yet, you can flip them over, but make sure your pattern's in the right direction. That's going on there. I've got some really good projects coming up for my YouTube that I've planned on, so keep an eye out on my channel and you can hopefully follow along with what I've got. I love doing my videos. Even though it's not live, I still go back and comment. If anyone leaves a comment, I always check all my comments. Not that I get a lot of comments, but I'd love you to comment if you like the card or like what I do. Just trying to get that straight. That's better. That one will go on there. This is one of the new papers. I don't know, I'll just get it out in a sec. Not sure if it's online or in the catalogue. I think it's online. I get mixed up with what's online and what's not. Slowly getting used to it. I've revamped all my craft room the other week and brought out all, put forward all the new stuff, and then the retired things that in the back area, well, up on the top shelf where I don't get to very often. And I've sorted all my papers, my punches, my embossing folders. I had a big couple of days sorting everything out and labelling everything. Everything in my craft room has a label, so I know where to find things. I'm usually pretty good. When I did tidy up the other day, I found something that I thought I'd lost last year. It was nothing to do with crafting, but yes, it was quite amusing because my husband said, "Why was it in there?" I said, "I don't know. That's where," because we went on holidays and it was something that we'd normally take away. And when I came home last year from holidays, I put it in the top drawer of my craft room, and then when he went to, that was the year before, sorry, and then this year when we went to get it out, I couldn't find it because I was looking in the bedroom drawer where it should have been. And he said, "Why was it in your craft room?" I said that's because that's where I unpacked the year before. So I just dropped it in the top drawer. Anyway, love this paper. Very pretty. Got lots and lots of colours to choose from. With Stampin' Up, they list all the colours on the backs of the papers, which is really, really good. So you can work out what colour coordination you want to do. So that's those three on the front. Very easy to do. If you put ribbon here, which would be a good idea because it would hold it shut, some nice fine ribbon, you would put it down underneath the two pieces before you put these mats on, so it sits in under the mats. Now this piece will go, we're not putting that in there, we're putting that onto that one, and then that will go inside. A nice, quick, easy card to do. I think some of the girls in my group had requested this fold, which I've just got around to doing it now. So I'm sure they'll be pleased to see how to do it. My live on a Saturday morning, I get lots of ladies on watching that. I do pin the live video to the featured tab in the group, but in Facebook's wisdom, they decided you could only keep your live videos for 30 days. So now, as soon as the video is finished, I pin it to the featured tab, and then I upload it to YouTube. So if it drops off in my group, then I can always go and watch it in, or the viewers can watch it in on YouTube. The video sits in there, and it's labelled with the name of the fold plus live replay in brackets after, so you know it's a replay from my group. Now this little bit here is really easy to do. I'll pop this up on top of one of those circles. I'll put those over there. So just keep one of them straight, one of them flat. The beauty of doing a circle is you can't get your greeting crooked. No matter where you put it, it's still going to go straight because you just turn it so it's straight, whereas a rectangle, it's quite noticeable if you don't stamp it straight. So we'll leave that one like that. Now these two here, you need two more, and I chose to do them the same colour as the background. It's up to you. You could do white at the back, and all you do is fold these in half like so and give them a nice burnish. I've done this one. I folded them with the stitching on the outside. Doesn't really matter if it's, you could use a punch here, you could have it a little bit smaller than the one here, it wouldn't matter. I think, yeah, this one here I've done it smaller underneath, but this one I'm doing the same size. So they're going to go with the two folded edges together. So all I'm going to do is put some glue on the back side of this, like so. Line it up on here, on the back of this, so it's nice and even around the edges. I better make sure I've got it pretty straight with the greeting, otherwise it's going to end up crooked at the front. It's the only difference with this. Try and get that fold line straight. I think it needs to go around a little bit. Not too bad, otherwise you'll end up with the crooked greeting at the front. I could have marked that. I think it's pretty straight. I'm just lining that line up there with the front of my greeting. You could always put the greeting on last, which would probably have made more sense if I did all this first and then line the greeting up so it's straight on the front, but we'll make sure. I said don't get glue everywhere. So that one will go on there. And they're nice and even. It's just like a little wing apparatus at the back. So you've got the two little wings there, and those will slide into the join at the front of the gatefold, like so. So you can either just pop that in there and that in there, like so, which it's not holding as well. Not sure why. I probably should have made, oh, that's because that's come off. I need a little minute for it to set. Just put that aside for a sec. That other one is super tight, and this one's going to be a bit loose, I think. I'll just wait for that to take a bit. Probably needed to do this smaller. It'll be fine once it sits down properly. And that one will slide when it loosens up a little bit. It'll go up and down like so. It's not sitting. I'm going to put a block on that, so it's because these are still quite not so flat. But that will work like that. I prefer to put it together like that instead of sliding as well. But that will slide up and down. Like so. Just need to manoeuvre it a little bit. My greeting could have been a little bit straighter. I would suggest putting the greeting on last so you can get it straight. It needs to be around that way a little bit. But that's that. Then I've got some little leaves that I've cut out here, which I'm going to pop in under here, wherever they will go. I should have put those in first. We can put a little bit of glue on the end of those. I might put them on the back side actually, just for a little bit of detail on the back. I'll show you the stamp set that I used. This is a lovely little happy birthday stamp that I got. It's one of the new ones out of the new catalogue. It's got a lot of little flowers, but it's got this tiny little happy birthday, which is good. I'll pop that one in there somewhere, like so, just for a little bit of detail. The stamp set's called Year of Flowers, and it's got a flower for every month of the year. It's got some really nice greetings here. Hoping your day blooms with happiness. It's all to do with flowers. Sending you a floral hug. I couldn't have picked a better friend. I think the emphasis is on the word pick there, because you pick a flower, and then the little happy birthday there, and then it has a set of dies with it, and they're the leaves that I used. That long one there. There's a smaller one there, but all the images have dies that go with them. That's one of the new ones. And I've got these beautiful two-tone sparkle gems, and they've got the pink and the blue in, which is that blue there, and then the I think it's either pretty in pink or bubble bath blue in the colours. So I thought I'll just put a couple of these on. I love these colours, and every time I do a card I think, oh, I should have done something with those colours in. We'll just put a couple on here, the bigger ones. I won't put them in amongst the flowers. I think they'll get lost. That's sitting down a lot better now as well. So that is it. That's my card for today. I'll just pop that one there. Everything's done. And that is it for today. My bookbinding gatefold card with a locking mechanism. I hope you enjoyed that. And don't forget, you can use ribbon on there if you wish, or just leave it without anything. Put your greeting on one side. Make sure if you do your greeting that it's only attached on one side so your gate still opens up. Thank you for watching, everyone. Please leave your comments or give me a like if you liked what I do. And I shall catch you all again next Monday at 9 AM. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.